Welcome, my friends, to Feel It, to Heal It. In this episode, I would like to talk about why we don't feel. And before we begin, I'd like to invite you to take one slow, gentle breath with me. Inhale and slowly exhale. One more time, breathing in and letting go. Beautiful. Now, let's feel. Today, I'd like to talk about something that touches every one of us. Not because we are broken, not because we failed, but because we've become incredibly good at surviving. As I mentioned, this episode is called Why We Don't Feel. If I were to ask you a simple question, what are you feeling right now? How would you answer? Most people immediately tell me what they are thinking. I'm stressed, I'm busy, I am overwhelmed, I've got so much going on. But those aren't feelings, those are descriptions of life. Feelings live underneath the story. Sadness, joy, fear, excitement, grief, love, relief, disappointment, wonder. Most of us were never taught how to recognize them. And perhaps that's because many of us learned very early that feeling wasn't always safe. Maybe you were told, stop crying, you are too sensitive, don't be angry, be a good girl, be a strong man, everything is fine. And little by little, your nervous system made a decision. If feeling creates pain, perhaps I should stop feeling. It was brilliant. It helped you survive. As children, we don't choose our environment, we adapt to it. If expressing sadness meant rejection, we learned to smile. If anger wasn't allowed, we swallowed it. If joy made someone jealous, we learned to make ourselves smaller. If love wasn't returned, we stopped asking for it. None of this means something is wrong with you. It means your nervous system was trying to protect you. And for that, we can actually feel gratitude because it did exactly what it was designed to do. The problem isn't that we develop these strategies, The problem is that many of us never realize we no longer needed them. The child survived, but the adult keeps living as though the danger is still here. And that is why healing can feel so uncomfortable. Not because healing hurts, but because feeling again can seem unfamiliar. Now imagine someone who has lived in darkness for years. Even beautiful sunlight feels overwhelming at first. Our emotions very similar. When we finally begin allowing ourselves to feel, we may mistake unfamiliarity for danger, but they are not the same thing. One of the greatest misunderstandings about emotions is that people believe they are the problem. I don't see it that way. Emotions are information, they are messengers. Fear asks if there's something here that needs my attention. Sadness asks, what have I loved that deserves to be honored? Anger asks, where have I abandoned my own boundaries? Joy asks, can you allow yourself to fully receive this moment? Every emotion arrives carrying wisdom, but many of us have become so uncomfortable with certain emotions that we never open the message. We simply try to make it disappear. And here's something I've learned after years of sitting with people. The emotions we resist don't disappear, they wait. They wait patiently, sometimes for years, for decades, not to punish us, but because they are still asking to be acknowledged. It's a little like hearing a gentle knock at your front door. If you ignore it, the knocking usually doesn't stop, it simply becomes louder. Our bodies often do same or something similar. Sometimes they whisper, sometimes they nudge, and sometimes they ask quietly. And eventually, if we've ignored them long enough, they may begin shouting. Not because our body is working against us, but because it has never stopped working for us. Its language simply became louder. One of the most beautiful moments I witnessed in my work isn't when someone suddenly has a breakthrough. It's much quieter than that. It's the moment someone says, I've never allowed myself to feel this before. Then the tears come, or the laughter, or the silence. Not because they became weaker, but because they finally became safe enough to stop holding everything together. To me, that is courage. Real courage isn't pretending you are unaffected. Real courage is allowing yourself to meet your own humanity without turning away. We've created a culture that often celebrates productivity more than presence. We ask people what they do before we ask how they are. We praise being busy, we reward constant achievement, and somewhere along the way, many of us forgot how to simply be. We forgot that there's incredible wisdom in sitting quietly with ourselves, not fixing, not analyzing, not improving, just listening. Perhaps the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you built with your own inner world. Because when you become willing to feel, you begin to trust yourself again. You stop asking everyone else to tell you who you are. You stop running from your own heart. And slowly, very gently, you remember that emotions were never your enemy, they were your guides all along. So, before we finish today, I'd like to invite you to simply pause. If you're driving, continue paying attention to the road and simply listen. If you're somewhere comfortable, allow your eyes to close. Take a slow breath in and gently let it go. Begin breathing in and breathing out. Now notice your body without judging it, without changing it. Simply notice. Notice the weight of your body being supported. Notice your breath moving without any effort. Notice whatever sensations are present. Now gently ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Not what you are thinking, not what you should feel. Simply what is here. Allow whatever arises to be welcome. If sadness appears, let it sit beside you. If joy appears, receive it. If nothing seems to come, that's okay too. You don't have to force anything. Simply continue breathing. Now, place one hand over your heart. Feel its warmth. Feel the quiet rhythm beneath your hand. And silently repeat, I don't have to fear my feelings. My emotions are not my enemies. They are part of being beautifully human. Today, I give myself permission to feel. Take one slow breath in, and as you exhale, imagine your shoulders softening, your jaw relaxing, your heart opening just a little more. Remember, every feeling you welcome with compassion becomes a doorway back to yourself. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, keep feeling, keep remembering, and above all, be gentle with yourself. This is Amin, and you've been listening to Feel It to Heal It.